on that hype train, but
so
I'm
what
sure.
we've seen from Dark Passage when they decided to ban the Callisto from blue side is that they were looking at targeting and limiting another player's champion pool. In the last game, it was Moss's Thresh by taking away that in priority pick. So the idea is okay, we're going to priority pick a champion that's really well known on a player as opposed to giving up the priority pick for the Callista. In this case, though, they may actually have a plan because they're now looking at the Fiora, although Fiora hasn't been a contested pick all international wildcard.
But this makes a lot of sense. Picking away the Rise would be a good idea. Yutapon has had that one banned against him over and over again. The Tom Kench, the Minky Whale special, if anyone watched the OPL Grand Final. But Shen is available, so of course it's going to get picked.
100% pick ban all tournament long. I think has continued that trend today as well. Noting Diana and Azir as well kind of cuts down some of the mid lane champions. But the Chiefs wanted to secure a priority pick. It is going to be the Shen.
And we know that Shen does relatively well against the old Rise. If you build a Banner of Command and a ZZ Rock Portal.
Stop it. Stop it with the Mickey Whale references. Our stream can't handle that much whale.
No, but it worked really well against Shen. Maybe not the ZZ
He's
Rock
beached
Portal.
Diz.
Yeah,
oh no.
I got it.
All right, so Detonation FocusMe
my
now
goodness.
considering their next two picks. 25 seconds left to decide what they want. Do they take something like their Thresh away from Egypt? We saw the Annie being flashed as well. Definitely a pick that they can consider.
Bangkok
Yes.
Titans special. That's what's going to happen. Thresh and Gragas.
That's not
Oh,
Gragas.
rip. That isn't a Gragas. Dang it. I'm not very good at this.
They
I
might
think I need
swap
to be
those
an
two as
analyst
well. I
before
hope
can
they
make that one
swap.
work.
5 seconds left now for Detonation FocusMe. See if they lock this in. They lock in the Thresh. Are they going to take the Cogmore as well? It's pretty early for it, but Rakinia has looked quite good on it.
Well, Swiffer can play Zed now. The Alex Ish mantra is going to work out effectively.
Lulu's also on the board.
Yeah, that's
also.
a very good point.
So a little bit curious if that's going to force Swiffer into the Lulu denial or if they're going to give that one over to Saros. Again, Saros has a pretty massive champion pool out of 10 league games, and of course this isn't including the playoff games, so they get plus 10 there. He played 13 unique champions, so.
That is a lot of unique champions over not very many games that they actually play.
Yeah.
Probably something like 13 games.
I think actually Bonzin, their former top laner, had the most unique champions played. He played like a different champion
my goodness.
in every game except for one. Played 2 Rumble games.
The IWCI special here from Swiffer, potentially.
I haven't seen LeBlanc in a while, but
The
could be.
rise of the assassin in response to the Kog'Maw.
Well, never mind. Elise Leona,
happening.
both of you got tricked. It's going to be still a bit more hard engaged and a very aggressive jungler for Spooks.
But we talked about how this changes the dynamic fundamentally for the Chiefs.
That's a smile on Swiffer's face as well. This is
Everything
good.
you guys keep telling me is Spooks. When my initial impression of Spooks and watching him was like, he's actually really cautious. You know, when he plays Rek'Sai, when he plays Gragas, he doesn't like to extend himself that much. He doesn't like to take that many risks, which makes sense because he had the best AD carry in the region. He had a really strong mid laner. He didn't need to be the carry. He could just let his lanes win for him. But according to you guys, when this guy gets Elise, when he gets Elise in, he goes ham.
Yeah, and it's Elise Lee Sin and a little bit Echo as well. After he picked up those 3 kills on the previous game, he was able to really make things happen. Asteroid, massive surprise, is going to be hovering the option of Gragas and Saros as well. The Lulu Cogmore.
This is a really good team comp fit.
It is.
Oh,
If they take
yeah,
it, they
it
get the
is.
Gragas in. They have to be taking Lulu. There it is.
And we've kind of talked about the Chiefs fundamentally in their meta. I want to actually take this over to Japan, kind of explain the Japanese meta. It's really heavy protect the AD carry. There was a reason why Yutapon used to be the AD carry player, and it's because that's the most important role for the Japanese meta. They have a lot of strong AD carries. There's a lot of focus that goes around them. They use Dragon as kind of a crutch for team fights. So about building up into those late game 5th Dragon win conditions where you have these hyper carries and things like that. So they're very practiced with this style. It's very LJL.
Yeah, they could as well pick up the Rise, and it fits fantastically into this comp at the same time. The Whimsy plus Rise's Rune Prison, we've seen it time and time again be incredibly potent. I'm very scared for the Chiefs and their ability to counter this because it's just so hard to deal with.
I feel like he's going to grab Sivir. Radier seems to be falling back to Sivir. I know it's a big pick. Oh, I actually really like this.
Oh, I love this lane.
So the reason why I like that he went Jinx here is because if they decide to go Rise, the 600 range snare, Jinx is one of the few champions that will be able to outrange that, so she won't be in the danger threat zone if Rise comes out for Yutapon.
Not to mention, there is also the Ahri for Swiffer, and Swiffer, I mean, he looked like a completely different player on that champion the last time we saw him, and not to mention, Leona Jinx, it's a decent lane. There's a lot of CC there with the Flame Chompers and, of course, that Shield of Daybreak.
I'm already a big fan of Swiffer's Ahri. I wish he just would play that game or that champion every single game because he likes to chase, and Ahri really empowers him to get his free gun.
Like we also tried to tell you, Swiffer, very aggressive mid laner. Once upon a time, it is nice to see him going back to some of those assassin routes. And this is a really well-rounded comp for the Chiefs. You have to be worried about the scaling on the Detonation FocusMe side, that's for sure. Especially depending on what the last pick is.
Do it!
Seriously going to go, they are, it's Olaf. Got to break that back line.
That is going to be a big Viking in these team fights as well. My goodness.
Udapon's pulled out everything. All different styles. He's done the tank, he's done the hard carry, he's done the mage.
Yeah.
What, Rumble, Rise, Olaf, and Maokai are the 4 champions that he's played in how many games? Have Detonation FocusMe played?
They play 4
so far. So different champion every single game.
This certainly is. So taking a leaf out of Saros's book this time around, or at least back into their former top laner's hands.
That guy hasn't played top lane competitively in over 2 years. He just started playing top lane for the team for their regional qualifiers to qualify Detonation FocusMe. This underdog story is so cool to me.
You're losing your evens.
I can't even.
Look, see the two teams set up now across from each other. Really cool late game comp here for Detonation FocusMe. And the Olaf, almost a nice answer, honestly, just to the Jinx, which was, I guess, the answer. Like you mentioned, Frostgruin, they're trying to match some of that late game carry power.
Yeah, and again, I really like the Jinx pickup here. I think this is a really strong suited composition for the Chiefs in particular. Again, Swiffer on Ahri, the mobility there really empowers him. We saw fantastic plays from him the last time the Chiefs took the Rift with that teleport Destiny Twisted Fate. He ganked 2 lanes at once. I didn't even know that was possible, and he managed to do it. So the fact that they're empowering Radier, the big AD carry of the OPL, on a hyper carry champion, and then giving the mobility to Swiffer, I think the Chiefs are absolutely in a comfort zone. On the other side, though, this is the LJL special. They love playing Protect the AD carry comp, and I'm so excited for Udapon to pull that all off.
Yeah, exactly. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a pause to lead us into this one, of course, as we get everything ready to go. 4-4 on the pause front. Yes, but we are going to be back onto the Rift very, very soon.
You two like weird stuff, by the way. Pauses and tiebreakers. I want to put that out there.
I just love tiebreakers and pauses.
Oh, man,
technical
so excited.
difficulties.
It's just sepia. It just feels more artistic, you know?
What?
So back to the team comp.
Yeah, let's go back to the team comp and talk about the fact that Radiant managed to get a pentakill in their second game of the OPL, split 2 as well on that champion. The Jinx is huge for this guy. Moved away from it just a little bit towards the end of the split, but man, it is always there and he's always strong.
I just have to say this. There's no one in our ear that's giving us these stats. Max actually just memorized that. And just he doesn't even have any notes over here. He's just like the pentakill in February of 2009.
Just don't look it up and just let me sound smart. It might have been in game 3. Not entirely sure. Was pretty early though.
And Atlas is probably right. I don't know the stat off the top of my head, but he's at least right that they did play a lot of Jinx, and it's something that they don't do all the time, but they pull it out every now and then. Again, it's another kind of feather in their cap if you want to think about it that way. Radier's Jinx has done a lot of work for him in the past 6 to 12 months, you have to think.
Oh, yeah.
Has played it in recent splits as well. Again, Jinx isn't that popular of a champion, but when she works, she usually works really well.
Now, the thing that I'm curious about is the 2v2 or the lane swap. So we haven't seen a ton of lane swaps. I think the Chiefs have actually been the team
they've been instigating them most of the games,
Leona into a lane swap is awful, just god awful. She can't really control. I mean, she can Zenith Blade through creeps, and then you can proc the Sunlight, but she's not great at pushing towers. She's great at unlocking for roam potential, but typically when you have a Leona, you want that big 2v2. Now, specifically across from her in the Thresh, should Kog'Maw and Thresh face across from them, Thresh has so many tools to counteract Leona. If he times his Flay correctly, it can interrupt the Zenith Blade.
Yeah, see, this was a very contentious matchup a long time ago when these two champions
were
really
there's
popular.
one range champion and one melee champion.
See, this is the thing. I think this is as close as a support skill matchup gets.
No.
No?
There's one range champion and one melee champion.
It's all about the Zenith Blade Flay thing, isn't it?
Okay, the idea is, I will give you this. It's a skill-based matchup if the Zenith Blade connects and you're standing next to your AD carry. So a big thing is also like kind of the Morgana versus Leona matchup. And Crapo was a big guy that's saying, okay, if Morgana black shields herself, but if she's ever standing next to her AD carry, so if Leona locks on to the support, but the AD carry is standing right there, she's just going to turn and she's going to punch your AD carry in the face. But the thing is you're a ranged champion on Thresh versus a melee champion against Leona. So if she ever misses that cooldown of the Zenith Blade or you interrupt it with the Flay, you automatically win the trade because you're able to hit her when she can't hit you.
All right, so let's phrase this question in a different way. Why pick Leona over Alistar? Because that's obviously the other big pick to look at.
I would have picked Alistar.
See, I wouldn't, because I think the Chiefs want more engage options. That's the one thing Leona has.
Long range engage.
That's more of it.
Yeah, and there's also the fact that the Chiefs have a fantastic pick comp here as well, and I think that what Ejim was wanting was more abilities to get on top of the mid laner if he can, because that's where he's been. He's been in the mid lane. He's been trying to kill people at level 2, and the level 2 of Leona is fantastic if he can grab the experience one more time.
I like that Froskurin already mentioned roam potential, because we've seen
Ejim
so many level
times.
2 Ejim mid lane roam. He did it, I think, at the middle of this year, in like the end of an OPL split in a semi-final, and we were like, why are you doing that now? That's a sweet tactic. And now they apparently just do it every game. It's like, Radio, get out of my lane. You're not getting the experience, and then Ejim takes it and goes game.
It's this cute little thing that they do with the Krugs, and they feed all of the Krug experience over to Ejim, and then he just murder. I love when people just get punched in the face.
Yeah, or shielded in the face.
Punch first, ask questions while punching.
He did it once with the Grump, where the jungler helped him, and then he headbutted through the Grump, got level 2, and then went to gank mid lane. It was amazing.
Oh, Rakinia.
It was amazing.
It was.
No, I just...
Thank you, yes.
I love you.
I'm a bit lukewarm, but we'll get there.
Well, Rakinia not going to suffer the same fate.
They split their experience already.
I know it's a 2v2, because that's what we're getting at least. Standard lane for the first time in a short while in the Chiefs game.
Interesting stuff. Astrore going to be taking his blue buff alone as Yutapon is going to get back to base, grab himself some extra pots, and head towards that top lane.
Should be noted that Spooks and Swiper, excuse me, I always wanted to say Swiper, started on the top side of the map, so their gank path options are going to be for the bottom side and mid lane once they clear the rotation. And the fact that it is a Leona, that's a lot of kill pressure.
Swiper level 2 already is Seros and Swiffer going at it early on. A nice early charm lands. Good Q, but he's just short. Seros dodging a big chunk of damage there.
Yeah, that would have pretty much been the trade advantage for Swiffer there. The trick with Ahri is you wait until the enemy mid laner goes to last hit, because they're effectively CC'd through the duration of their auto attack animation, and it's super important to hit a max range Q on Ahri because you get the immediate double proc of the damage coming back through.
Certainly is. The Swiper hanging out in the top lane. This is a matchup we haven't seen in quite a while.
What year is it?
I don't know. Very late.
Astrore has got the smite. There it is.
I always get worried as well, but junglers, they usually know what they're doing.
They're flirting with danger, man. They do it a lot.
It's okay. There wasn't a wall there. He wasn't contesting with any terrain, so...
Oh my goodness.
It was just him and the buff, I believed.
Well, done right now. Ejim really doing a nice job actually putting him in, so using some of the early rockets, the relic shield block from Ejim as well. A Swiper and Yutapon, they're gonna have our time. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's certainly a time.
I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be a farm lane. There's a little bit of kill pressure early on Olaf, especially because he took Ignite to teleport. Doesn't have the Ghost available, so 0 escapes open for Yutapon, but it's so hard to kill a Shin, especially because he got pushed in early. At some point, he's just, it's flash Shin. It's flash taunt Shin. It's, you're never gonna kill me Shin.
Yeah.
It's just Shin.
Still going to be Shin, the
Just
worst
a
ninja
Shin
in the
thing.
game. It's just so bad at being a ninja.
I really want to see Seros. So the other cool thing about Lulu into Ahri is that, or pretty much Lulu into anyone, is she actually has superior range on pretty much every single matchup if she uses her help picks to shield a backline caster creep and then shoot her glitter lance from there.
Yeah.
So she should always be able to out-trade Ahri without Ahri being in position to counter on it.
Down on the bottom lane now, I see Raider actually maybe getting paid a visit there. Ward down, the Chiefs have seen that being put there, so they'll have good knowledge about what's happening. Swiffer in the meantime, trying to keep up, and yes, Seros does have a slim lead right now, and Seros' laning has been interesting to me this whole tournament. It's been a bit on and off. I've seen an Ahri game where he was certainly falling behind, and the Gangplank game today almost turned that around. I feel like day to day, Japanese side are only getting better.
Comfort, but we'll see Astrore walk into Spooks here.
Oh, just picks himself up a pretty easy Raptor as well.
Did he cocoon a mini Raptor?
I think it disappeared into space.
Yeah. Doing some weird things today. Down the bottom side, Raider and Ejim going in onto the Kazu, but just a nice little trade there.
So what was really key about this trade is the fact that Ejim pulled the trigger as soon as he saw the Flay go down. So knowing that the Flay wasn't there to counteract the Zenith Blade, so great cooldown management and awareness for Ejim.
You can see Swiper, he's pushed up the top lane as well as Swiffer here in the mid. He's going to be doing his very best to clear this one out. And after that trade early, I mean, I feel like it's weighing on Swiffer's mind. He missed out on the experience from 3 creeps and just knows that he's not going to be ahead in this lane.
Just tilted.
Yeah, tilted for 3 creeps. Oh man, done.
The thing that I also want to talk about, you know, we spent so much time talking about Thresh versus Leona, but Jinx versus Kog'Maw. Jinx has just so many more tools, although hold on, free cocoon.
Yeah, there's the free cocoon, of course. Spooks with so much damage at this stage. First blood delivered to Swiper, silverest of platters. As Swiffer, he's going down very low, 300 health now for the Ahri.
Yeah, good bullying there from Seros. A little low on mana, but approaching level 6 might consider pulling his bundle over or going for a dive. Asteroid, though, is in the bottom side, but really nice setup there. Very important, much like Kassadin, I guess, to gank Olaf before he gets his ultimate.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The fact that he wasn't able to break any of the CC and get out of it. More importantly, the fact that Yutapon doesn't have his teleport available. So not only does he give over the first blood and it stays in the lane on top of Swiper, but he's not able to teleport back into the lane to kind of compensate for picking up that experience and that gold that's dying to his tower.
Yeah, it actually just came off cooldown while he was walking to lane, ladies and gentlemen, so Frostgren wasn't confused.
Are you trying to cover my bases?
I was trying to cover your
bases.
bases.
No, I believe the audience saw. They knew.
They did?
Yeah, they saw him die. He's like, I gotta talk to you. Check the teleport cooldown.
That was what happened.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, doing my best.
This lane. So the thing is Jinx versus Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw has pretty much 0 tools to augment the wave. He's going to be a mostly single target damage champion, whereas Jinx just turns into rocket form, gets to outrange Kog'Maw at least post level 6, or excuse me, pre-level 6, and just infinitely push the wave in. And anytime Leona has a CS advantage behind her, especially in these early levels, she's able to posture much more aggressively and much more offensively forward. So yeah, Leona versus Thresh, not my my cup of tea, but Jinx versus Kog'Maw, man, I love that.
Yeah, very good. Like we said, very rarely pulls the Jinx out, except in situations where he's comfortable with it. He really prefers his dashes. It actually might have a bit of a scuffle. Kazu going forward, but the Chompers just to delay any aggression.
I think he actually hit a creep.
Yeah, I didn't even see the death sentence. I thought he was faking it out. It was very confusing. Swiffer makes his way towards the Scuttle Crab, but it is already taken, so they're not going to be able to get any surprise ganks towards the bottom side.
They're contesting blue buff, though, because they have advantage over the bottom side of the lane. So because Raydeer and EGEM are so far forward, they want to pull the trigger, contest this blue buff, knowing their bot lane can get there first.
Really smart stuff here from the Chiefs. We've seen this a lot from them. They don't have the vision control set up, but they're just power and numbers right now going to go in onto the buff. The wards are still there for DFM. That blue might reset soon, but Swiffer, he wants it, but Spooks is just going to take it.
It's more important that Spooks...
Whoa.
Interesting. It's more important that Spooks actually just secure that, because obviously when you're making a steal like that, it's just better that you're taking away the blue buff versus giving it over to your mid laner. It's much safer just to get Swiffer his own blue. So no problem there for Spooks to take that away.
This is nice as well. Very aggressive call, but they've got the back time as they know Swiper can join if they need. Yutapon's got his port as well, but they've seen the backs. They're going to take Dragon also.
Yeah, easy Dragon here for the Chiefs. Lock down the first one at 8 minutes. Probably one of the earliest Dragons that we've seen in this game thus far.
But this is the thing about the Chiefs. They're so good. Spawn calls it their triangle vision. We already see deep ward set up in Detonation FocusMe's blue side jungle because they went for the blue contest. Then realizing what health Seros and Asteroid were at, they transitioned their, again, bottom lane aggression and victory into Dragon secure.
And you've got now the bottom lane heading towards the top side of the map here as well. Asteroid trying his very best to take down the blue buff as Yutapon unable to find a kill onto Swiper. Asteroid able to take down the blue. Very well done, so forcing a bit of a lane swap.
Yeah, so picking up your duo, moving your numbers advantage to the top side of the map, because Dragon's down, so why do you have your 2v2 on the bottom?
Okay, so if we're going to get polymorphed here, probably not going to die just yet.
No
Does have the Stand United, lands the charm onto Seros. Oh my goodness, that Zenith Blade was so incredibly close. Seros was forced to use the flash and his ult.
This is like heaven for me, because they're making all these macro plays and then they just want to murder each other. I'm like, no, come on guys, just lane swap. So what? Tower dive.
The burst coming.
That's what they're doing.
Yutapon pops his ulti. Asteroid's here as well. Kazu's going to pull them out with a
ulti.
Just hits Asteroid.
But they've got complete control of the tower, and that is a jinx. So goodbye, top tier tower. But again, the only reason your 2v2 is in the bottom side of the map is because Dragon's going to be the most important early objective, other than if you got a free tower. So making sure you have the numbers advantage control over there. Now that Dragon's down, picking that up, and then immediately not only putting Olaf behind, but picking up the free standing gold and start Jinx rolling. This is the power of Jinx. Once she gets level 9, she has all 5 points into her minigun. Her attack speed ramps up so quickly, she can siege a tower faster than any other AD carry.
And look, you're having so much fun that I'm going to give you something else that's also going to happen here. The way they time the blue buff into that dragon means as long as they keep vision around and keep minutes,
they're going to get it every single time. Yep.
Because now they have extra reason to have their vision where they already wanted it to be.
Oh, beautiful. Just Frostgrin needs to have
sorry,
a moment here.
I didn't mean to enable
Wait,
Frostgrin.
here comes my play-by-play moment. I've gotten excited.
Oh my, what?
It's a jinx.
I get it. No, I get it.
It's a jinx.
It's okay.
I have blue hair.
Okay.
It's all coming together now.
Oh, she's going to grow it out, guys. Don't worry. We'll have the pigtails for you very, very soon. Excited to see that one. That being said, Rakinia has now picked himself up a bit of a CS advantage. 10 CS in the lead after Radia's excursion towards the top side. Spooks finds his way in. Oh, E-Jim.
Just tapped his butt.
Yeah, doesn't quite have the Zenith Blade skills just yet. Yeah. Our producer actually tapped his as the flash comes out from Rakinia, gets himself into position. Flash into the shield as Kazu is forced to flash out as well. Spooks will have the repel available as teleports coming in from everyone. Radiant aggressive positioning as Swiper looking for the taunt, gets it onto Unipon, but he has the ultimate. Radiant going to get slowed down, forced to use the flash. Unipon doesn't have that summoner spell, so he's not after him there as the zap comes in. And Seros not going to find his way through. Swiffer still in the mid lane, but Detonation FocusMe now with some opportunities on the bottom side.
Yeah, now that it's all said and done, Detonation FocusMe do come out on top. A nicely timed teleport from Unipon, an Asteroid with the cast to pick up that kill in the back half.
Radio.
But these cooldowns were all expended. He's fine. He's totally cool. We're good.
Yeah,
yeah,
okay,
he's good.
He's fine.
All of these cooldowns were expended for nothing. They didn't get the tower. They didn't translate it into a dragon. So yes, they pick up the kill gold, but it doesn't snowball into any sort of objective advantage or any sort of macro map advantage.
I guess we've seen this a little bit from Detonation FocusMe, where kind of like the Bangkok times, a lot of their strength comes from just straight up fighting people and then kind of using the objectives either as bait, like you mentioned with the dragon, or just as like a secondary consideration to help them get further ahead. This is a region and a team that loves to fight. Unipon's teleports have been a lot of how that's happened, and like you mentioned, that teleport only for one kill and nothing else is a big loss for Unipon's cooldown.
Especially because the dragon is now on that 2-minute timer. Again, because he teleported to a ward and a creep, it's a 5-minute timer for the teleport, so they can't even play with split push map pressure. I mean, Unipon can try to push forward. Reset. All I'm trying to say right now is the macro play available to Detonation FocusMe is to trade top tier tower for the dragon. They can try to contest it 5v5, but they've lost complete control over the mid lane if this tower goes down.
Nice tune there from Spook. Going to deter Seros from coming through and clearing out this wave, at least early on.
Chiefs setting up their triangle vision over this blue buff.
Yeah, once again, going to be contested. Nice ward there from Detonation FocusMe shows whether they're behind the pit. Pink ward here as well. Rakinia and Kazu now in position for this one. Living Artillery spots out Spooks.
Yeah, back around for that blue buff like we mentioned, but Swiffer move his way down. Actually a quick clock there for Radiant. Must be a efficiency buy there, because you usually see the pickaxe. He wants to be strong right now. They know they have a dragon to fight around.
Yeah, but you could have just bought a Avarice Blade. 730 versus 800, and you get the crit as well as the bank build.
Maybe he didn't have enough.
Or maybe.
Well, that ward is well and truly there, Chiefs. So, aware of what's going on.
He's got upgraded boots as well as the BT, so this is the I'm going to siege towers build that we see very popularized in the LPL. I see you, Chinese analyst for the Chiefs.
Well, they're just, yeah, it's blue buff again. Something that Detonation FocusMe are clearly aware of as far as something to fight over, but Spooks will take the Scuttlecraft 20 seconds out of the dragon as Seros been sniping Swiffer here in this mid lane.
And this is why the Chiefs are unable to pull the trigger on A, the blue contest, and B, the dragon. It's because Seros has been doing a fantastic job. Again, Lulu can outrange Ahri if she places the help picks on the back caster creeps and shoots the glitter lance from there.
This is what I find really interesting about this game, though, is we're going back to how the Chiefs played during the regular split. Split 2 of the OPL is Swiffer didn't necessarily get ahead every game. He was getting a whole lot of attention from the others, from the opposition team. But it's been on Radiator. It's been on the fact that he's on a carry that he can carry with in the late game and make things happen. And we'll see whether that's going to happen this time around as well, whether it's going to be a little bit of a look back, because Swiffer, honestly, this tournament has been playing fantastically and has largely been carrying for his team, and it might be Radiator's turn to step up.
I mean, Radiator's had a fine tournament as well, but
I don't know.
Swiffer's had some big moments.
Some Victor games are popping into my head.
Oh, there's a certain one that we probably won't mention.
Well,
selective memory.
Dragon now the consideration as Spooks does start it again. It's just vision here for the Chiefs. Detonation FocusMe actually can fight here. I mean, Unipon's teleport might be the big problem, but Chiefs are just going to walk away with Dragon number 2.
Well, the game changer here is the fact that Swiffer has simply pressed B on his keyboard back to reset his health, got into lane. The Chiefs like, okay, our mid laner is, you know, back up to full health. We actually had a 4v4, 4v5 advantage because Yutapon doesn't have the teleport. We can actually fight this. The thing is,
free dragon.
Yeah, since Swiffer was at like 25 HP in the mid lane, he would have to either die or give up and sacrifice the 4v5 disadvantage and become a 4v4. So good job, Swiffer. Find that B key.
Yeah, not too bad. 10 CS behind now as well. Does have himself some Sorcerer's Shoes as well as that Morel Namakon. E-Gym has been ignited here on the bottom side of the map. Radier as well. A bit of a difficult trade.
I think you guys checked the Trinity Force Pokemon because Oceania is actually quite strong now in this lane. Radier does have some gold stacked up. It's likely he has enough for Infinity Edge at this point, so I believe, yep, he's going to go back and get it.
Well, not quite yet.
That's actually massive that they managed to sneak Dragon number 2 on the timing window for Rocunia's Trinity Force, because that's when a Kog'Maw wants to really set up and fight, nice especially because Jinx hasn't completed her Infinity Edge yet. So the fact that they took away that immediate timing window and now it's a whole nother 6 minutes before the next Dragon will be, you know, that arena for the Detonation FocusMe team to funnel into, Radier will then have his battle stats like that Infinity Edge available.
Part of the reason I like... thought Adrian was going to pull the trigger. The reason I like the Shen first pick here for the Chiefs, because again, if they're the big macro team in this tournament, if that's the identity that they want to take, and they think that they can beat Detonation FocusMe by running them around the map, it's not quite Twisted Fate, but they've got a pretty good tool in Shen to do that with.
No, I completely agree, and I think that's why Shen has also been a massive priority contest pick for pretty much every team, is that he helps make those macro plays so much easier with his global presence.
Not to mention the fact that Yutapon doesn't have any way to break Stand United or teleport, so if Swiper wants to lead the lane, you better bet he's going.
He might just die, given that Yutapon does.
I think he's just going to run at him. I think that's the only option.
Yeah,
I can't break it, but I can
guess
kill
killing
you.
is a pretty good form of CC, so he's probably going to have that option if he wants to. But it's pretty hard to kill a Shen, generally. That being said, Detonation FocusMe able to take this one down. There's the Solar Flare. Zenith Blade lands. Super Mega Death Rocket secures the kill as Yutapon finds his way in. There's the Repel. Spook's able to get out as Yutapon wants to find it. Spook's still alive somehow as Swiper's here. In comes Swiffer, wants to find Asteroid. There's the Wild Growth as Saros makes his way around. Asteroid very, very low. Swiffer locks down the kill. Saros is in so much trouble. Radier picks up another one. And this is the skirmish that the Chiefs have been looking for. And we are raising our koalas right now.
The target selection from Detonation FocusMe was so questionable that game. The teleport coming in from Yutapon, he couldn't figure out if he wanted to rush onto Radier, so credit to Radier for exiting the danger zone there, but Yutapon should have just gone straight for the Jinx.
Great collapse there from the Chiefs. A well-played fight in a 5v5, playing around the Yutapon teleport, and now they find themselves actually up quite a bit of gold here. Finding at about 3,000 gold, actually approaching 4 right now as it ticks over. Moscow, let's see this again.
Okay, so the hook is so close to connecting. Great follow-up CC from E-Gym that just deletes Kazu off the map. It sets up the Get Excited, and this is the target selection that I'm talking about. Yutapon rushes back to his team. Radier was kind of just on the cusp of the danger threat zone, but I feel like Olaf should have just gone straight for this Jinx. From here, Swiffer shows up and just starts putting out massive AoE damage, but the big thing is that Detonation FocusMe are separated. You have one team on one side of the island, the other team on the other.
Yeah, couldn't get the Lulu ulti onto Yutapon to get to the back line. Couldn't, you know, put Kog'Maw in a safe place, had to run away back down the lane. Just well played there by Chiefs, and like you said, maybe a bit questionable there from Detonation FocusMe. They're now going to put all the resources and go straight for the last outer turret.
But again, their teleport cooldown was used for no sort of macro advantage.
Oh, another Solar Flare after the Death Sentence Cocoon lands as well as the turret falls down. Detonation FocusMe still looking for more. Swiffer can possibly bait something, you're exactly right, but just
I'm not talking about leaving, actually. I don't think he wants to be in the area. Goes back in onto Kazu, though. Wild Growth pops Swiffer. He's going to try and make a play. Cocoon is
back
there.
in again!
Back in. Dives out with the ult. And yep, played me for a fool. He didn't use it aggressively. It's his skill going. Swiffer's going to get chased down by Yutapon. Actually, might be a bit too much damage, but Swiper going to dive in. E-Gym finds Rocania, Rastarore. He's going to get chunked down as Swiper. He's going to get the kill. He gets a double, actually, as Cog dies as well. And Seras, the only one left alive. Spook's going to look for the Cocoon. Little low on mana. Damage is good. E-Gym dives in. Choppers are there. And Radier gets the ace.
And again, the Chiefs in a fantastic setup of a team fight. They split Detonation FocusMe up around the terrain. Back-to-back skirmishes, and they come out on top.
Just ridiculous stuff here. 3-0-5 for both Swiper and Radier. And now 2-1 and 3 for this Ari, now facing off against a 0-2-1. Nowhere near the same situation that it was in the laning phase for the mid laner of the Chiefs.
Okay, this is what I want to point out. Watch where DetonatioN FocusMe, all of their members are. So right here, this is fine because everyone's kind of behind each other, but it splits up here. Udapon's on one side, everyone else is on the other side of the wall, but the Chiefs are grouped together. They're able to protect Radier and funnel him forward into this choke point. So now from here, the fact that it's a numbers disadvantage, goal disadvantage, DetonatioN FocusMe just have no answers left.
Not a whole lot they can do. You can see Spook's able to chase that one down. Meanwhile, Ejim very, very low. In fact, probably dead. There we are. Rakenia delivered himself a kill from the rest of his team. Not entirely sure what happened there. Kind of need the rest of the story.
Yeah.
It's like he opened up a book and it says, and they're falling down the cliff. You're like, what the heck are they falling down a cliff?
That's an unfortunate Ejim characteristic. He does like to fairly aggressively ward, shall we say. Usually goes on some solo journeys, and that was one of them getting picked up there.
He aggressively wards. He walks up to the bush. He's like, take it.
I mean, you've seen him play the likes of Thresh. You know that he's going in on the All-Star. Same way when he wards, just as aggressive.
I ward with my face.
No one else there.
Pretty much.
Ultimate's been popped here from Udapon as well. He's tried to get some work done. Swiffer does have his ult now on cooldown. Had to use that to get out of the way. Dragon probably going to go down. Super Mega Death Weapon going to come through there.
No, doesn't use it. Instead, it's Japan that gets the Dragon, and I don't think they can get a trade. Swiper's going to try.
No, this is a great play from DetonatioN FocusMe. Pretty much the best case scenario right there. The skirmish in the mid lane went on so long that the Chiefs weren't able to reset their map positioning soon enough and set up their vision. So with the pick, they get their first dragon, but they may lose top tier tower because Jinx is level 12, which means all 5 points.
Trade. Yep, got it. Could be a nice trade for the switch a little bit. Not enough minigun there. DetonatioN FocusMe will protect their assets here.
Assets.
Yeah.
Swiffer making his way around as well. They've shifted their vision towards the top side of the map here at 22 minutes into the game, and Chiefs have utilized that to take down the red buff for themselves, which looks relatively easy for this squad. You can see Baron possibly an idea for the Oceanian team.
It's so good though because the dragon's down, so they pick up their vision, so they move it to the top side of the map.
You're having the best time right now,
Frosker. Man, I love macro-oriented games. So the dragon's not contestation, so they pick up all their vision, move it to the top side. If they get a pick here, they rotate it into dragon. Jinx will shred it really quickly because she's post level 9, which means she has 5 points in her queue. Oh, please.
It's Froskeren's favorite day right now. I think we've had the day of Froskeren. The Swiper, he's got a Thornmail.
They play split push pressure because they have the teleport as well as the Shin ultimate available, so send Swiper down there, just continue to pressure bottom and top lane. Either whittle down and get a free tower, make a pick because the enemy team will rotate through your vision, and then translate that into Baron.
Pastry, let's just go home.
Textbook.
We're done here.
Well, don't want to do that right now because Swiffer is at the blue buff, but he'll get it for himself and wander up towards his teammate. Swiper just clearing some stuff out here, going to meet Udapon in the bottom side. Teleports are up for both. And Swiper does have that ultimate there as well.
This is the one thing, it's very scary in the 1v1 still for Shin against the Olaf. So that's kind of the question mark here. If Udapon can find a kill on Swiper, that would actually be massive for DetonatioN FocusMe.
Got the itemization for it, but probably doesn't have quite enough health in the pool right now. But armor and health and armor is pretty much what you want there.
He's got a 50 CS lead on Swiper right now. I wish I could do maths.
I definitely don't
But
do maths.
Radier has a 2-level advantage over Oceania, and the fact that he's 3-0-5. This Jinx is so big.
Diving would be a very scary option right now, unless they were able to layer their CC perfectly.
Kazu might get caught. Radier also hit by the death sentence, but might be able to get his way out. Gets excited. That's going to be him okay. Nice use of the solar flare to create the disengage as Asterore comes in.
And the reason why I say that is because you were diving Lulu and Gragas. Gragas really good at resetting a fight if he doesn't like it. Lulu naturally has the wild growth available, but like we said, if they layered their CC perfectly, so following the chain between Elise and Leona and Swiper, hello?
This is going to be a battle of some sort. Actually, topside, Rakenia in trouble. Actually ultis himself out of way. He's going to keep them safe. Spooks has to get out there along with Swiper, and Swiffer's trying to kite them around. Great orb there, but it's not quite enough, and here comes Udapon. Gonna charge in, he powers up the ulti. Orb of Deception out, Rakenia has to dodge the Luden's damage, and the Chiefs will bait out the cooldowns and run away.
I think there was like 2,000 collective health on everyone during that particular skirmish.
Yep.
Best case scenario, though, however, for DetonatioN FocusMe, because we've now closed down into that Dragon timer, which means that we're no longer playing around a danger, like a Baron threat zone. So everyone's going to have to move their vision, pick it up, move it back towards the bottom side of the map. So, I mean, They managed to save their tower. I think they lost a single member. Took out the the Stand United cooldown. Never mind, it's not that big of a win. But, you know, they're hanging on.
I mean, not losing that top tier 2 tower
is massive.
Actually really massive as well. Like, you saw the idea. They got some spells out. They went for, like, a poke-in with Jinx. Terrace used his ulti, Rakinia got low, and I assume they tried to find a pick on the top side, couldn't complete it. Went for a dive, Cutapon came in, and then we're kind of back to even as far as map footing goes here. Chiefs are up 7,000 gold, Dragon's up in about a minute 45, and again, that blue buff's going to be contested, although it seems like Seros is already there to take it.
Yeah, Detonation FocusMe actually doing a great job playing from behind right now, shoring up and securing a lot of their weaknesses. Spiderwing!
They're still happy to fight. Swiper does not have his ultimate, does have TP, but the Chiefs are going to have to be a bit careful. Detonation FocusMe, they will go in if they see an opportunity.
8,000 gold now the lead, though, for the Chiefs with the...
Radiant?
Okay, Rakinia looking for E-Gym now as Radiant comes through. There's the Solar Flare, Super Mega Death Rocket onto the Void Puppy. Oh, actually, Radiant flashes for it, grabs himself a whole lot of speed as he gets excited. Kazu on the backline has to deal with Spooks. Not going to do so well as the Q comes in. Utapon now with the Whimsy Shield will be able to get his way to safety, but that's not where an Olaf wants to be going.
So key that Radiant was able to flash forward and get his passive Get Excited for safety there. If he hadn't, that would have spelled disaster for the Chiefs, especially on the foot of that dragon.
Now they're going to try and take this tower. Should be able to spread through it with 2 members dead. Dragon up in 45. Once again, the Chiefs playing the map wonderfully.
Spirit Fingers going on the desk at this point as Frostgren feels like she's orchestrating the game. Rakinia makes his way back towards
Dance, puppets, dance.
Yeah, exactly. It's very interesting, this situation. 10,000 gold is close to the lead, though, for the Chiefs.
Although, I have to completely disagree with going Phantom Dancer on Jinx. Sorry, Double Lift. Sorry, Rapier. Versus Static Shift.
I swear we've had this conversation.
Yeah, so the reason why I'm a big proponent of Static Shift is they make a pick.
Is Big Kazu's going to die? Radier's going to be able to take down that kill using the Phantom Dancer.
Sick critical strike. No, okay, Get Excited. Get Excited, Jinx passive, working with Static Shift. The fact that it's pretty much going to give you an instantaneous Static Shift proc, but never mind.
Uniform's going straight in for Radier, who's trying to cut him off. Swipe off right the side as E-Gym gets turned into something as he gets polymorphed up. He'll still be alive, he's fairly tanky. They take out the threat. Rakini's dead as well. Seros gets picked off by a charm. The ulti sails by, and the Chiefs win a 4-0 team fight.
And they're marching towards Baron, completely ignoring the dragon again. Now that they have a sizable pick, Asteroid is still up and available, has the smite, could look for a steal, but this should be a Chiefs free purple worm.
Yeah, Radiant with the Super Mega Celebration rocket right over the dead Detonation FocusMe members. He's going to net them this Baron. And man, this gold lead is only extending as this game goes on. 13,000 now and a purple buff. Let's see this again.
Okay, so Utapon does get into the backline into Radier, but at this point the gold lead is speaking for itself. So many members, Spooks and Swiper, doing a great job getting on top of Radier, keeping him safe. And E-Gym, he's so tanky that with Swiffer, they pretty much tie up the rest of the Detonation FocusMe backline.
Yeah, and the gold lead's just a little too much right now for Detonation FocusMe. The Chiefs are insanely far ahead at 13,000 gold up in under 30 minutes, and it's just not getting any better for them. They're picking reasonable fights. They're sort of doing what their comp wants to do, but they just don't have the goals to fight like that against the Chiefs. Like you said, they split them up and still won 2 separate fights.
They're so far ahead that Radier is able to itemize third item into the Bloodthirster against pretty much 0 resistances coming from
cloth armor. Look at that.
From Detonation FocusMe. They're just too far behind the clock at this point.
And we'll see if they can pull it back here. We're ahead and then couldn't close out again. We'll see how they play from behind here in this one. But the Chiefs have just been very crisp. That's been the biggest change for me, honestly, all of today, but particularly in this game. You know, they got the priority pick on the Shen. They're playing Jinx again. They're playing a lot of comfort picks here. E-Gym still being quite aggressive on the Leona. But the way they're playing, the way they're moving around the map specifically, I think it's the cleanest it's looked all tournament.
Shen.
Yeah, and I just really love the clean drafting from the Chiefs as well. They're doing what they want. They are dictating the pace of these games a lot of the time, and they're playing to a clear win condition. You're thinking, yeah, E-Gym able to get around the map. He missed a couple of Zenith Blades early on, but you know what they're trying to do. They're trying to grab the picks, get the Jinx snowballing, start things off here in the team fights the right way with the kill, with a lot of extra kiting power, and they're doing so really, really strongly.
It's a macro-oriented competition. The fact that you, again, we kind of questioned about the Kalista ban from blue side, but prioritizing Shen and banning Kalista to be able to secure that. that gives you global pressure already, but then prioritizing Jinx, who's so good at seeking down towers and controlling waves, probably right up there with Sivir. And then you have Pick on the other side of that, Elise and Ahri. So you pick one person, you immediately translate that 4v5, that 3v5 into an objective, just instantaneously.
They do still need to break the base as well. They have the Baron buff, but they haven't quite been able to do enough with it just yet. Yutapon pops his righteous glory, wants to get aggressive, but doesn't quite go in. And now they're going to go in on the other side here. Seros has to dodge the freight train coming towards him, and Swiper's also applying pressure in the bottom. Baron will run out relatively soon, but the Chiefs do have a window here.
They're also applying the Baron buff in all three members as Swiffer makes his way to the mid lane.
As well. Clearing out minions. DetonatioN FocusMe doing an admirable job in actually clearing out these minion waves. Even though they don't lose too much.
We've got the comp for it, honestly, if it goes late. We've talked about the Japanese meta in the LJL, how they love to play protect the AD carry. Got a good AD carry to protect, but they have to come over a pretty sizable hill here.
Oh yeah.
Now we're just going to start the siege. It's something that Jinx is quite good at. They've got plenty of poke with it as well. Elise classically very strong in sieges also.
The thing you're looking for here is the Descendant or the Cask. If the Cask is able to separate particularly Radiant, or the Descendant connects on Swiffer or Radiant, that's the go button. That's the trigger for DetonatioN FocusMe. If not, they're going to just continue to slowly whittle down these towers.
Looks like was going to go in then.
Posting for it. Doesn't quite go through. And again, the Chiefs just clearing out vision, trying to get picks where they can. Just poke, honestly, Radiant. He knows he's strong. He only needs to do this a couple more times under the tower. Looks to walk forward. They're trying to protect him. And again, slow but steady. But if they can do it, as Asterore wants to go in. Yutapon's ported around the back. But the Stand United's going to reposition. But Asterore gets absolutely destroyed by the Jinx damage. And Chiefs now got the kills. Both splashes. Didn't quite have mana for Cocoon, I don't think, but they're going to dive in for it! Good double taunt there from Swiper. Ult comes out, Egypt dives in with a flash, and there's your 3 kills. Kazu and Yutapon left to defend their base.
Flash taunt, flash Zenith Blade.
And Radier with fantastic positioning not to get locked up by Yutapon. So we said, you know, Yutapon pulling out the Olaf, it's in direct response to this Jinx pickup, trying to get onto that backline, but the Chiefs have done such a wonderful job not sacking Radier, protecting him.
Well, they only sack him if they can kill a Nexus in a trade.
Okay.
That's the only way that they do it.
And now the base broken in 2 different places
gold
for the Chiefs. Yeah, massive gold lead mounted now for the Chiefs. DetonatioN FocusMe, they've got the late game, but late game is not coming anytime soon. They're going to have to wait up probably 20 minutes or so in this game to catch back up in gold, and the Chiefs do not look like they're slowing down.
It would have to be a miracle turtle.
I think a couple of miracles.
A miracle too. Franklin. was he a miracle too?
Dragon up now, 140. As the Chiefs don't really need it. They would have been their 5th dragon if DetonatioN FocusMe couldn't sneak one away. So that's actually a good job by them, keeping that off the map here. But 2 lanes broken already. They're going to start pushing down the bottom. They can apply pressure with Shen if they need to. Baron's also up if they need something to fall back on the Chiefs. Just looking at this point to deliver the final blow.
That final blow looks like it's going to be over the blue buff. There's no way DetonatioN FocusMe can fight for this. He's trying to steal it as quickly as possible.
Different.
Yeah, the fact that Rokini, again, like DetonatioN FocusMe just getting in there as quickly as possible, that Kog'Maw's the guy that exits with that blue buff.
Well, they do at least keep it away from the Chiefs, but Swiper's going to start applying some pressure with the split push minions. No banner of command, unfortunately. But we'll still do a good job pushing it.
Does he have a Caesar up portal?
I was going to say, banner of command. I wanted the portal.
Yeah, well, Yutapon looking for it here as the Descendant comes in. Radier able to get out of the way. Zap comes in as well, and it looks like they're successfully able to disengage, and that's the ult on cooldown.
Meanwhile, Swiper in the top lane continuing to apply pressure with a super minion wave behind him.
The Chiefs are just being patient. They know in this position, 4 versus 4 and 1 versus 1, they'll eventually do damage to structures. Well, Yutapon's already used his ulti, they just have to wait.
Just having a dance in the base right now, performing some medical procedures on that Surgeon Shen as Boots throws out the cocoon.
Eden does not care right now.
Doesn't matter, Jinx is on the tower.
Yeah, base tanks some stuff. The tower does fall. This is going to be super creeps in all of the lanes. The 3rd inhibitor falls. Not much left for DFM to defend.
We talked about this yesterday. Did the Chiefs overlook Detonation FocusMe? As I think a lot of teams were suspect of doing it. They crash onto the Nexus.
Yeah, there's the taunt in as Asteroid gets taken down. Wildcard's on top of him. He's trying to survive as Repel comes in. Radiant just wants to take down these Nexus turrets as Udapon. He's going to get taunted. Doesn't quite have the ultimate back up. He's dead. Radiant in the backline's going to fall down. But I believe the Nexus is going to follow as the Chiefs are able to close out this match.
The Chiefs clean up their draft plays, and they play probably the cleanest, most clinical game that we've seen to date yet.
Certainly do, and they're going to take the Nexus here as well. Radiant did dissect himself again for the Nexus, but he's able to pick it up. The Oceania did a lot of work to finish that kill, but it's too little too late for Detonation FocusMe as the Chiefs pick up their second victory of the day.
Yeah, fantastic work from the Chiefs. And the blue side picks up its first win of the day too. Congratulations, blue side. And I like how they traded Radiant. Once again, the only way that they ever traded for a Nexus happens every single time. Doesn't.
To be fair, Rakinia was glowing golden, zigzagging her, and had to flash and burn all these buttons to get the kill.
But that's what you got to do.
Well, look.
So many buttons. You need all the buttons if you're going to kill anyone.
Most teams will take it as the Chiefs move around to shake hands. Detonation FocusMe have looked strong. You can see a couple smiles there exchanged between the players. But the Chiefs looking very strong. Finally up 4-1 now, I believe. Only one game left to play. Not quite sure because again, math is horrible for me.
Well, it's a three-way tie on the bottom side of the standings as well. 4-1 for the Chiefs, but it's 2-3 for everyone else, I believe.
Well, looking good so far, but again, just another clean game there coming out. You said it already, a very clinical game, not even just from the Chiefs, certainly as far as their history goes, yes, is a very clinical game.
But for the tournament.
For this tournament especially, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Completely macro-oriented gameplay, and we've talked about this, like Shin has been picked or banned 100% for the entirety of the tournament. Finally, someone gets their hands on him, and this is just what he empowers. He compensates and he shores up for the lack of maturity in the international wildcard tournaments to play cross-pressure compositions.
Yeah, well, look, I'm excited to see what they're going to come up with in their final game, but the Chiefs looking very dominant at the moment. We are going to throw it out for some further analysis of that victory into the war room.
Thank you so